Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amagyanatimirandasya Jnana Janasalakaya Chakkurnamiletanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagaraitam Sri Visakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanam Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Ancha Kalpatrivasya Kurpa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnabhya Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Let me check the sound is coming or not. So today we are going to discuss about the Uddhava-gita, chapter 2 actually, which is the canto 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th and 8th chapter. So as we have already discussed about the first chapter, that how the Uddhava-gita is very, very important book of knowledge. Why it is important book of knowledge? Because it is a very unfathomable, unparalleled instruction has been given to Uddhava by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, because of time constant, he spoke to Arjuna in a very brief way, maybe within 45 minutes. But in this Uddhava Gita, Lord, before he wind up his pastime, he desired to disseminate the knowledge, the paramount knowledge, this unfathomable, unparalleled knowledge, instruction to Uddhava, dear devotees actually. So for that purpose, he wanted to speak this knowledge so that it can be delivered to the particularly sages in Himalaya, Badrikashram. So Lord spoke these things and started with that how Lord has given a very cited example in the beginning, that how a Avadhuta Brahmana, how he received the very valuable, precious instruction from the different gurus around him, and he has accepted the 24 gurus. So in the last session, we have learned about the 8 gurus like sun, moon, and wind, so and so forth. So why this is important? There's a very important things here. It is given that the knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, is important. Initiation, the diksha means transcendental knowledge. Diksha means initiating into the transcendental knowledge. Because without transcendental knowledge, there is no transcendental life. When a serious student initiated by a spiritual master, that means he initiated into this transcendental life. But a transcendental life cannot be sustained without transcendental knowledge. Therefore, Diksha means Divya Gana. Divya Gana. Divya Gana means transcendental knowledge. Because one cannot sustain if we do not export or so adroit and so in understanding the transcendental knowledge, in understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says that in our Krishna consciousness movement, the most important thing is, first thing is the knowledge. Because without knowledge, we cannot render the service properly. We cannot do the Krishna consciousness action. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna spoke transcendental knowledge in chapter 4. And chapter 5 is action in Krishna consciousness, karma yoga. Why? Because nobody can be perfect, or nobody can perform perfect action without uh, without perfect knowledge. So knowledge is very, very paramount important. Therefore, Lord Shiva says this beautiful verses. Lord Shiva is speaking that how this knowledge is very. Lord Shiva says that Shreyasam iha sarvesham jnanam nishreyasam param. That means in this material world there are different types of achievement, but of all of them, the achievement of knowledge is considered to be highest, because one can cross the ocean of nescience only on the boat of knowledge. Otherwise, the ocean is impassable. Therefore, the transcendental knowledge is very, very important. Krishna also says that I give this knowledge, buddhi yoga, dadāmy buddhi yogam tam tena mamam upayanti. Krishna says, I give this knowledge, those who are very sincere. So this transcendental knowledge is very important. Therefore, Uddhava-gita is very, very important. In another verses also it is stated that how important this knowledge is. So here it is said that jnanam yad apranivritta gunarami chakram. Chakram means the cycle of birth and death. We have been since time immemorial, we have been undergoing the cycle of birth and death. To stop this roller coaster life of birth and death, the cycle of birth and death, the wheelful of birth and death, we have to have this transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot get out. Therefore, it is stated in this verse also, same thing has been substantiated, that transcendental knowledge in relationship with Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the webs and willfuls of the material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to being free from material attachment. Being transcendental, it is approved by authority. Who could fail to get it? It is not a mundane knowledge. That's the difference between a science and spirituality. The material educations will give you the information about the matter, but the spirituality will what give you the information what it matters. That's the difference. So this transcendental knowledge gives the information how to sustain this material webs and wheels full of material existence. How to stop this all misery of life, all the anxiety, the birth, death, disease, old age, all this obnoxious misery of life. Therefore, it is very important that we must know the Uddhava-gita. Lord say that we learn. Learning is very important. Therefore, Prabhupada has made so many centers. Our center is not just a Dandavat and bell. We are not for the belling and Dandavat. Our shelter is meant for a educational shelter. The temple, Prabhupada said the temple is the university of God, theology, science of God. Educational shelter. We educate people in the science of Godhead. Unless we understand the science of Godhead, we cannot surrender to Krishna. We cannot get out from the material existence. If we do not know a person, we cannot love him. We cannot develop our attachment for him. We must know the person. Therefore, Krishna also say, Janma karma chame divyam evam jo beti tattataha. Tattata means in truth, not just superficially. Therefore, it is incumbent for all these devotees that we must hear Krishna Katha. We must hear the knowledge, this transcendental knowledge given in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, and his Upanishads. Particularly these 4 5 books are very, very important as Prabhupada prescribed. So on these notes, we should start our topics, this 11th canto, 8th chapter, Uddhava-gita, story of Piṅgalā. So in this chapter, we are learning from different creatures, right? From the human being, from animal, from bird, from insect, from the sky, from the moon. Now, to learn very important lessons so that we can employ in our life to further advancement of spiritual life. So therefore, they are also, instead of accepting them as a sun or moon or a python or a tree, just like a tree, we learn that how to become tolerant. Tree is so tolerant. He's giving us shadow. He's giving us fuels, wood for fuel, wood for fire, and we caught also intolerant. So how much tolerance? So the tolerance is very, very important qualities of a devotee. So we can develop, we can learn. Is not just a tree. We have to imbibe the lesson from a tree, employ it, and these are the characteristics which is very conducive, congenial for our further advancement in consciousness. It will reinforce our conviction, reinforcement our uh, cultivation of Krishna consciousness more seriously. So on this notes, we will start with the 11th canto, chapter 8, the story of Piṅgalā actually, from Python to Piṅgalā. I can show you the beautiful notes prepared, so we can know here. So as I told you previously that in chapter canto 11 is 31 chapter is there. First chapter is the course of an Yadu dynasty. Second to 6 is Maharaj Nimi meets Navajogendras, and 7 to 29 is Bhagavad Gita. So today, last session we had covered chapter 7, now today chapter 8. In chapter 8, Uddhava-gita, there's a beautiful things are there where we learn from Python to Piṅgalā. There are 9 spiritual masters has been mentioned in this chapter. Starting from instruction received from Python, instruction received from the ocean, instruction received from the moth, instruction received from the bumble and honeybee, instruction received from the elephant, instruction received from the honey thief, instruction received from deer, instruction received from the fish, and instruction received from the prostitute. So even we learn from a prostitute also. See, everything we can learn even around. Krishna himself is citing the example of Abhadhuta Brahmana, how he learned from the 24 gurus, and one of them even a prostitute. Not that we have to, this is the result of a devotee. Devotee will not see a prostitute as a prostitute or something, a object of sense gratification. No, he will immediately think of this lesson. This lesson is important. As soon as we see a prostitute, we see that what we have to learn from that prostitute. Therefore, this kind of instruction, this kind of transcendental knowledge enforce us to restrict our senses, enforce us to think of Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. So that is very important lessons. Here Krishna say an intelligent person expert in perceiving the world around him in applying sound logic can achieve real benefit through his own intelligence. Thus sometimes one acts as one own spiritual master. So we can learn from world, everything from the world around. So we will start with this first lesson from Python. What we learn from the Python. Python, Python is something which is a big snake. The lesson to be learned from Python, that Python never goes for livelihood, just like we are. We are so much exceedingly busy and enormously stressful life to earn our livelihood. With alarm clock, we get up, very quickly take our shower, rushing to the office, running, hitting the road, rushing to the office, and inside office, it is very enormously stressful environment. And coming back from the office, we're so tired. We have no energy. So we have to go, we have to endeavor. Sometimes over and over endeavor. 99.9% people are endeavoring for livelihood. Over endeavoring even. But what to learn from Python? Python is not interested in, I mean, he does not go for the maintaining livelihood. Whatever easily available by this arrangement of providence, he gets. That is a very good lesson from Python. Because one cannot get, despite our so-called endeavor, one cannot get more than what he is destined to be. Even after he gets it, he will lose. Just like a case recently in India, there was an Ambani family. They're very rich family. His father was very rags to riches. He was a petrol pump in a clerk in somewhere and attendant of petrol pump. He became a $1 million company owner. And their two sons, Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani. One of the son is now become the one of the 10 richest men in the world. But other son, he lost everything. Why? Because even after you get a money, if you are not destined, you cannot keep it. You cannot get 1 cent extra without, I mean, above your destination, above your providence. Whatever it is destined, you are destined to be Bill Gates, you are Bill Gates. You are going to be Bill Gates. Even after you do not endeavor, just like Bill Gates. He was a school dropout, but he became a $1 million company owner. Steve Jobs also same thing. So if you are destined to be something, according to your previous karma, nobody can stop. Therefore, it is said that intelligent class of people, they do not endeavor for all kind of to become ameliorated material condition. They do not endeavor for become rich or to accumulate money. It is stated in these beautiful verses that very very nice verses in Bhagavatam. It is said that even if a man is poor, he should not endeavor to improve his economic condition, just to maintain his body soul together, or to become a famous. Just as a great python, although lying in one place, not endeavoring for its livelihood, gets food, it needs to be maintained body and soul. One who is desireless also obtain his livelihood without. So therefore, we have seen that in our Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada said that I went to America with $7 of American rupee. But Prabhupada was destined to be made, of course, millionaire. He became millionaire. Of course, he used everything in the service of the Lord. But this is the thing. If you are destined, you are destined. You do not need to endeavor for that. Just like a python, he is not interested. Whatever the according to providence it comes for the livelihood, particularly to maintain the soul and body, that much of endeavor should be done. We should not do that. It will automatically come. If I am going to be rich, it will automatically come without our endeavor. You do not have to endeavor for to become a rich. No. It is our previous karma result. We will get it. We will become rich or poor according to our previous karma. That is called providence and destiny. So therefore, a very nice verse from Bhagavatam spoken by the Narada Muni. Narada Muni say that Tasyeva heta praiteta kovida nalabhyate yad brahmatma paryadda nalabhyate dukkhabad anyatha sukham kalena sarvatra bhavira rama. It's beautiful verses frequently spoken by, quoted by Srila Prabhupada. Person who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable by even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka down to this planet. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain misery, even though we do not desire. We do not desire misery, but it comes. We do not desire happiness, it will come. Even after you do not desire, automatically come according to our previous karma. Therefore, intelligent class of people, they do not endeavor for that purpose, how to increase my bank balance, how to work hard, hoard lot of money, how to increase our livelihood so that I can enjoy more and more sense gratification. One cannot enjoy whatever is if it is not destined. If one is not destined, he cannot enjoy. That is the providence. That is the destiny. Therefore, one should learn from a python snake that one should not endeavor unnecessary. Whatever it is according to this, therefore the devotees, they are not interested in that. We have so many centers, we have brahmachari, we have sannyas, they do not work. The devotee do not work. How they get money? According to providence, they will, as much as required, they get money. They do not go to work 9 to 5, but still they are having very nice prasadam, everything. Accommodation, prasadam, everything. Therefore, devotee should always satisfied with whatever the livelihood coming according to the providence, whatever given by the Lord, should be content. We should not go endeavor for that. So there's a beautiful verses in this regard. It is spoken by the Hiranyakasipu. Very nice verse. In Bhagavatam it is recorded. Sometimes one loses his money on a public street where everyone can see it, yet his money is protected by destiny, not seen by others. So the man who lost it gets it back. On the other hand, if a Lord does not give protection, even the money maintained very securely at home is lost. If Supreme Lord gives one protection, even though one has no protector in the jungle, one remains alive. Whereas person will protected at home by relatives, others sometimes die, and others sometimes die. No one being able to protect it. This is a very good verses. This verse is also spoken by the Prahlad Maharaj, 7:9-19. So you see that sometimes we have everybody has got experience. Sometimes we lost the wallet, but nobody has taken the wallet. We go back and get it, or we lost something, watch or wallet or iPhone on our phone. Still, it is there. Although it is not secured, but nobody has taken. Nobody has taken that phone. Nobody has taken the lost things because it is not destined to be lost. Sometimes iPhone is very protected. We protect the iPhone, still it was stolen. We protect our wallet, still it is stolen. Similarly, this verse say that a person is very protected home and relative, he dies. On the other hand, a person is not protected in a jungle, still he is alive. Why? Why the discrepancy? Why the differences? Because if Lord protects, that means if the providence wants, if the destiny means what? Providence, protection by the Lord. Nobody can do anything. Therefore, devotees should not endeavor for livelihood at the cost of neglecting spiritual cultivation. Should not over endeavor. Tasyāhaṁ prayasa. These are the impediment for our further livelihood. Whatever the things necessary to maintain the soul and life together, that is enough. Prabhupada went alone. See, Prabhupada is the best example to learn. This is the Python. Prabhupada, Python. To learn from Python, learn from Prabhupada also the same thing. Prabhupada went to America in a freighter cargo ship without any money. He's penniless. He do not know their language properly. Intellectually foreign, culturally also do not know the Western culture. There is no accommodation for Prabhupada. There was no arrangement for food, prasadam, where he is going to eat. Such a trial condition, still he went. He did not endeavor, let me get some money, no. He knows whatever the providence, whatever the Krishna gives, that will be fine for me. So that is the things we should learn from Prabhupada. We do not be like, if I have so much money, I am a very comfortable position, then I will do Krishna consciousness. What is this? Prabhupada used to say, oh, if you have good money, I have everything conducive, then I will do this. That is not, that is actually, you will not do that. You will be more and more entangled. Therefore, you should learn from the Python that a devotee should learn from the python that how one should even no food is available. One who desires to worship the Supreme Lord should think that whatever is destined to him will certainly come. That he should not waste precious time uselessly endeavoring for bodily necessity. In this way, he should maintain himself like a python who does not endeavor for the food. This practice will enable him to meditate on Supreme Lord undivided. See, this is spoken by all. This is not from me. It is from the uh, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So very, very important things to learn from them. So we want, therefore, Python one should be very much towards Krishna consciousness, should not be anxious to earn their livelihood more and more, increase our bank balance. No, in this way we cannot go back to body. We cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, whatever the things is coming according to our way, we should try. We cannot change also. We are trying to think that we can change our destiny by over endeavoring. No, it is not possible. There is a beautiful verse spoken by the Narada Muni. Narada Muni say that you are trying to make this toilet place. This place is called toilet, thinking place. The toilet, you're trying to work hard and bring some perfume, buy some perfume and spray in the toilet. Will it make it a very nice place? Prabhupada asked this question. You cannot make a toilet a nice place just by sprinkling a perfume. And to get that perfume, we are working so hard. How foolish. Therefore, it is stated in this verse that living entity are trying to counteract different miserable conditions pertaining to providence. Other living entity are the body and mind. Still, they must remain conditioned by the laws of nature, despite all attempt to counter them. We cannot make it. Therefore, one should not endeavor for that. That is useless, fruitless. Devotees should not be anxious. Oh, let me more money accumulate, I will be very comfortable position. No, always anxious to serve Krishna, not anxious to increase our material condition. Thinking that, oh, I will have money, I will use for Krishna. This is all the lame excuses they give. Yukta Vairagya. This Yukta Vairagya, under the plea of Yukta Vairagya, there are so many unauthorized things are going on nowadays. Prabhupada said, what is the essence of spiritual life? So we go. This is the lesson we learned from the Python. We will go back to the next lesson. The next lesson we learned from the very nice source. Next lesson is from the ocean. The ocean is very nice things because two things we can learn from the ocean. What is the first thing? The lesson to be learned from the ocean, self-realized soul, who are inclined towards Supreme Lord, appear very pure and grave, just like a water of calm. First thing we have to learn, just like a water of a calm ocean is very pure and grave. Prabhupada, you see, always pure, always grave, always calm. This is the quality of sadhu. There are 20 the qualities of sadhu has been mentioned. One of them is very grave. So grave is an important quality. And ocean also, another lesson, ocean also does not decrease in rainy season. Sorry, in summer season. Neither it is increase in rainy season. So it is the same. Therefore, devotee should not be elated when there is a very auspicious things coming or happy thing, and should not be dejected when there is a negative things coming. That means both adverse situation and prosperous situation, devotees should be very steady. They should not, just like ocean, it never increases when there is a rainfall, neither decreases when there is a summer season. That means it is a state of complete satisfaction. And it is not artificial. It has to be done in a very Krishna consciousness way. Punardusta Punardusta means higher taste. When you get a higher taste, we do not like a lower taste. So we are satisfied. Krishna consciousness means we are content, very content. Yam labdacha paramalabham. Once we gain this Krishna consciousness or bhakti, we are content. We have no hankering for material things. We cannot artificially become satisfied. Oh, I'm satisfied when there is happy, when there is distress. This is not artificially we learn. We learn when you advance in Krishna consciousness. When we taste the higher uh, consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness, higher taste. Therefore, in this verse is very nice, it is stated that beautiful verses it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Sorry, Bhagavad Gita, it is stated very nice. How a Sita Prajna means those who are self-realized, how their nature, their character. So here it is very nicely stated that one who is not disturbed in spite of threefold of misery, who is not elated when there is happiness, who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called sage of Sthita. Sthita Prajna, the definition of Sthita Prajna, Krishna is giving that here. Sthita Dhir Muni Ruchyate. So who is Sthita Prajna? When there is a threefold of misery, he is disturbed, he is not frustrated, he is going to suicide, or lamented, or drugs, addiction, all these materialistic people, because they are not self-controlled, they are not self-realized, they are not Krishna conscious. Repercussion is very grave in Gargantua. They frustrated, they drugs, they drink in order to forget the misery. They they sometimes suicide. Just like one Bollywood actor, I don't know, I forgot his name. He's suicided. He's a young Bollywood because he could not get movie and all. They have no idea of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness person know that it is all pertaining to the body. It is temporary. Krishna says just tolerate, whether it's a negative or positive result. Negative circumstances or positive circumstances. Just tolerate. Therefore, they are not so elated when there is happiness. When there is misery, they are not also. Because they know everything is transient. It's just Maya's game. As long as we are in this material world, we are prone to be either distress or happiness. So we have to tolerate. Krishna says, "Tang titikka sarjuna." It's just like a summer season and winter season. It comes and goes. Winter nobody likes water. Same water summer we like. It's just a sense perception. I like, I don't like, or it is not convenient for me. It is not conducive for me. It is conducive. It's a sense perception. You have to tolerate this. Therefore, those who are self-realized or Krishna consciousness person, they know this. They know this teaching, and they employ this in their life. But the materialistic, they suicide, they frustrate, they just like you New Year party. What is this New Year party? Simply forgiving, forgetting or their misgivings, their miseries of last year. So they drink, and enjoy this New Year party. But they do not know. They do not change. They cannot change their circumstances. Therefore, Krishna says, better tolerate. So therefore, those who are yogis by practice, the Krishna consciousness person by practice, they tolerate all the things. They tolerate all the things, and they do not so elated when they get in kind of happiness, nor they are very much, therefore there's a beautiful verses it is stated here in this verse. There's another beautiful verses regarding this subject matter. So it is stated in this verse that even while engaging his sense in the contact with their object, one who sees the whole world as the energy of the Vishnu, neither repelled nor elated, is indeed greatest activity. Neither repelled, because they know that sometimes senses will give pleasure, sometimes senses will not give pleasure. So they neither repelled and elated. They just engage everything for the sense, for the in the service of the Lord. That is awesome. Prabhupada has given a very matchless gift to us, that how to use our everything in the service of Krishna. Lord Shiva also spoke very nice. Narayana parasarve na kusthana vibyati sargopavardhanarati swapitulyata darsina. Devotees solely engage in the devotional service of Supreme Personality of God and Narayana never fear any condition of life. For them, heavenly planet, liberation, hellish planet are all same. For such devotees are interested only in the service. That is the teaching, that we should not be disturbed. Like ocean is not disturbed by when there is a rainy season, neither it decreases. Summer season also, although the water evaporates, neither it disturbed. It always calm and comfort, very great. Neither increase nor decrease. Therefore, a devotee, under any condition, whether it's a liberation or it's a hellish life, is not disturbed, because they are always in the service of the Lord. Therefore, in our practice in Krishna consciousness, our sadhana bhakti, we must learn. This is very important for everybody, because in sadhana bhakti sometimes we encounter problem, negative circumstances, reversal in life. We should not be so much frustrated, jeopardize our Krishna consciousness. And sometimes we are in a very favorable condition. We should not be so irritated that we forget Krishna. That also jeopardize. Both the extreme it jeopardize. One verse is there, but it is said that I forget this somewhere, that it is stated that demigods are speaking, that in heaven it's overwhelming sense gratification. They forget Krishna. In the hell there is overwhelming pain. They forget Krishna. Therefore, a devotee should be always sthita prajna, steady mind, equipoise, both in happiness and distress. In this way, they should practice, understanding that this is all temporary. Our main goal, our main prime business is to go back to God and go back to Krishna. Nothing else. If we stop, just like there is a beautiful proverb, that when you are going to a destination, if you stop and responding all the things, then you will procrastinate, or we will delay our process of reaching destination. We should not. We should not be disturbed by this. So this is the lesson we learn from the ocean. Then our third lesson is we learning from this beautiful book, that is called moth. That is very important. The moth, moths are always around the fire. They are so much captivated by the fire and they die. They fly into the fire and die. Foolish people also exactly like a moth, so much captivated by the senses. They cannot control the senses, attracted by the particular the form of woman, gold ornament, her dress. Therefore, what will happen? They go to hell. They lose the chance of going back to God. So very important. The material beauty, especially form of woman, is very dangerous, because as soon as you are attracted, like a moth is attracted to the fire and dies. Similarly, as soon as we are attracted in the form of in the form of a woman, then our spiritual life dies. Spiritual life dies. It is stated in these beautiful verses, so many verses, that how dangerous if we are attracted by the form of the woman. So in these beautiful verses, it is stated here that form of the woman is how it is very dangerous for our spiritual growth. In these verses, it is stated here. These are the very important words. One should not associate with a coarse fool who is bereft of knowledge of self-realization, who is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of God. Because as soon as you are dancing dog in the hands of woman, you will lose the opportunity of going back to Godhead. How you will lose the? It is stated further here that just try to understand the mighty strength of my Maya. In the shape of woman, this Lord Kapila is speaking to his devotee. Just try to understand the mighty strength of my Maya. In the shape of woman who by mere movement of her eyebrow can keep even the greatest conqueror of the world under her feet. We have practically seen in history how the great Alexander under the grief of Cleopatra, many of greatest personality. They are like a dancing dog in the woman hand. They are like a lion outside, but like a cub or like a what do you say, cat before in front of the woman, in front of the. So, the many instances, Prabhupada has given a very nice purport. There are many instances in the history of the world of a great conqueror being captivated by charm. Etc. One has to study the captivating potency of a woman and means attraction for that potency. From what source was this generated? According to Vedanta Sutra, one can understand that everything is generated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Supreme Person Brahman absolute truth is source of phenomenon. So we should understand that a common male wants to be attracted by female, that propensity similarly exists in the Supreme Personality of God. He also wanted to be attracted by beautiful features of women. Now the question is that if he wants to be captivated by such womanly attraction, would he be attracted by any material woman? It is not possible. So everything we experience, Prabhupada is giving a little bit of more explanation, deepest explanation that anything we experience in this material world is originally existed in the spiritual. We can find in Supreme Lord. So once it's a common nature that a male is attracted by a female. Similarly, this kind of propensity is there in God. God is also wanted to be attracted by women, just like Radharani and Gopi. But in case of God, it is pure and pristine form. For all, it is polluted form. Therefore, we die. It is a perverted form. That was a pure, this is pastime, transcendental pastime, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. For us, it is our weakness. It is our sense gratification. We fall down, spiritually die. So that is the difference. Therefore, one should learn from a moth that we should not be captivated by the woman. The woman created by the Lord is a representation of Maya. One who associates with such a Maya by accepting service must certainly know that this is the way of the blind well covered with grass. So beautifully. So it is said that the woman is created by the Lord is a representation of Maya. You want to enjoy separately from the Lord. Therefore, we have turned away from the Lord. But there has to be some enjoyment. Therefore, Lord created the woman, which is representation. You enjoy separately, but you enjoy Maya. And as soon as one associates with Maya, what will happen? Death is inevitable. Death is inevitable. Just like a blind well, which is covered with the grass. We thinking that very nice. But as soon as you go near and fall down, blind well, and there is no question of rescue because it's blind. It's a like dark well. Nobody can see that you are inside. You are fallen down. You have fallen down in the well. There's a very slim chance of even rescue because it's a dark. Nobody can see. If somebody will see, at least there's a chance of rescue. So how Shastra is so perfect, no? So therefore, we should learn from the moth that one should not be, attracted by this all this particularly woman form. Our whole material existence is to this male and female attraction. This material existence is caused by this. Therefore, we are bond, we are bondage. We are in bondage. Even though one may be very learned and wise, he is mad. He does not understand the endeavor for sense gratification is useless waste of time. Being forgetful of his own interest, he tried to be happy in the material world, concerning his interest around his home, which is based on sexual intercourse, which brings him all kind of material misery. In this way, one is no better than a foolish animal. So there is so many courses that condemned that if one is attracted or captivated by the charm and charisma of Maya or woman, form of woman, then we are going to lose our spirit. Our spiritual things will die. This is a death of spirituality. That gives you more and more miserable condition. Bhau dukkha dukkha is very much miserable condition. Therefore, Narada Muni, one of the verses, he was very strictly speaking, very blunt and blatant about this statement in this matter. He told that, he spoke that the omen in the beginning, oh, this is not about the devotee's omen, this is about the karmi omen. My dear king, omen who is very attractive in the beginning, but in the end very disturbing, is exactly like a flower, which is attractive in the beginning and detestable at the end. With omen, the living entity is entangled with lusty desire, he enjoys it just as one enjoys aroma of a flower. He does enjoy life of sense gratification from his tongue to his genitals. And in this way, the living entity considers himself very happy in family life. United with his wife, he always remains absorbed in such a thought. He feels great pleasure in hearing the talks of his wife and children, which are like a sweet humming bumblebee that collected honey from flower to flower. He forgets that before him is time which is taking away his lifespan with passing day and night. He does not see the gradual diminishing of his life, nor does he care about superintendent of death, who is trying to pull him from behind. Just try to understand this. You are in a precarious position, are threatened from all sides. It's so blunt, so blunt and blunt. There is a saying that better to be hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. Because a naked truth is better than well-dressed lie. This is the naked truth. This entire 99% people, they are the same situation Narada Muni is giving. They are captivated by the woman. Men and women, when united, there is a house, Gruha Kshetra Sutak Kabhi. They wanted to expand the enjoyment. They want to buy a house, buy a land, having the children. They want to have a job, prestige, maintain the prestige in social status, in the society. This way they're entangled. Finally, they do not understand that time is passing. They're oblivion to the time. Every day we are losing one day of our life. In this way, they are so much engrossed in satisfying the woman, or captivated by woman, children, family life. They have forgotten the real interest of life to get out from the material existence, go back to Godhead. They do not, there's so much ignorant, so much blind, so much oblivion to this man. And in this way, they are die. They die like cats and dogs. There is so many verses are there, how they die also. How they die also, there is a verses are there in 3, Canto 3. They die so pathetically because they are so much attached to their wife, their children, their family. At the time of death, they feel so much separation, pathetically they die. In this way, they lose the interest. At the time of death, instead of remembering Krishna, they are remembering their wife. And next life, they become the woman. At the time of death, a man who is so much attached to woman, thinking of woman, they become woman in next life. This is stated. Everything is there in Bhagavatam. Nothing we can find beyond Bhagavatam. Everything you ask, Bhagavatam has got good answer. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly look upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as the bestower of wealth, progeny, house, other materials. See how dangerous. So we should learn from a moth who is captivated by fire and flies into the fire and die. We are similarly captivated by the form of the woman. We go and woman and we fall down in a spiritual life. Fall down from our destination, our aim of life. Fall down from our self-interest. So this is the thing we should learn from this moth. Then we will go to the our next thing we learn from the we learn from the bees. The two kind of bee, bumblebee and honeybee. So the two kind of bee, bumblebee and the honeybee. The lesson to be learned from bumblebee is that self-realized soul should maintain himself by begging a little bit of from door to door. He should call it essential truth from the all scripture, whether they be great and or insignificant. That is a very, very good point. First point it is stated here that one should not call it more than atya akara prayasa. We should not endeavor for more than what is necessary of life. Warren Buffett, the great one of the top 10 richest men in the world, great investor, he told very nicely. He told at the time of death, if you have in your bank, if you have more money than what actually it is needed, that means you have wasted that much of time to accumulate this. This is unnecessary. This is redundant. Actually. We should not endeavor for. Just like a bees is collecting as much as required, whereas a sannyasi or devotee should earn as much as required for the livelihood. Therefore, it is stated in these beautiful verses that one should not endeavor for unnecessary money, unnecessary beautiful verses. One should not endeavor for unnecessary accumulation of the livelihood. Life desire should never be direct towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else is the goal of life. One should not over endeavor. As much as required, one should go and do the work for that purpose. Kamasya nendra lava jivita java. Only for livelihood, bare necessity of life. What I need, what I will do if I will have a 5 iPhone, 10 houses. Sometimes devotee comes and say, Prabhu, please come. I bought another house by mercy of Krishna. They are thinking they do not have idea by mercy of Krishna. If there is a mercy of Krishna, Krishna will take away your first house himself. He will not give the second house so that you will be entangled. This is simply their entanglement. They're thinking that by mercy of Krishna say, I will take away all this material opulent, which is stumbling blocks for in our advancing spiritual life, in advancing Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we should learn from the bumblebee. Bumblebee collect as much as required from different flowers. He will not collect more than required. Therefore, a devotees should not collect over, should not on over whatever necessary, not over than, not more than. And another thing you should lesson, you should learn that we should how to learn the scripture. You should not learn the scripture like very details. We should learn the scripture, the essence of scripture. Our this topics is essence of Uddhava-gita. We are not going to details. We are just taking the nectar of Uddhava-gita. For every scripture, we should take the nectar, essence of that. We do not need to go details. We have no time for that. That is also stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He told also same thing to Rupa Goswami. He told to Rupa Goswami that one should collect the essence of from all scripture. Although the living entity known as human being, no, this was. He told to Sanatana Goswami, not Rupa Goswami. There are many type of Vedic literature, supplementary Purana. In each of them, there are particular demigods who are spoken of as their chief demigods. This is just to create an illusion from moving and non-moving demigods. Let them perpetually engage in such imagination. However, when one analytically studies all this Vedic literature collectively, he comes to the conclusion of Lord Vishnu is one, only supreme personality of God. One should collectively take the essence of scriptures. Similarly, one should not so deeply go to the one scripture and learn very details. Essence is very important. So that is the thing we learn from the bumblebees. And what we learn from the honeybees, we learn from the honeybees is that honeybee collects small amount of honey from many flowers. Essentially, devotees take the lesson from the spiritual master, from his spiritual master. The honeybee, instead of asking for a large quantity of alms from a particular householder, essentially person should accept only that what is necessary for his maintenance by taking small amount of food from many householders. Such behavior will not cause any difficulty to the householder. See, this is a point for the sannyas. A sannyasi should not go to one householder, take large amount. Rather, take little amount from one householder, little from another householder. In this way, he will not put danger into, put in a very awkward position for a householder. Sometimes we ask money, collect money for in the service of the Lord. One should not be so much pushy about, somebody's, forcing somebody, give me that, give me more, we have some money. No, we should be asking somebody some little amount, somebody little amount, like one should not be only one person we have to ask, give me some large amount of money. And we will put him in a very awkward position. While raising funds, I have practical experience that if we put so much pressure to one person, give me more money for our Rath Yatra festival, for our other festivals, he will be 1, 2 times is okay. After that, he will be very, avoiding us. But rather than we distribute, everybody makes some small amount. In this way, we can collect. That is the best process of collecting money. Sannyasi also should not beg, or brahmachari should not beg from one household. They should go to little amount from many households. If a householder is regular, is so another thing, the conditioned soul who are averse to the advice of Supreme Lord fall into the life of inauspiciousness by accumulating material possession for their own enjoyment. A honeybees works hard to collect money, yet it enjoyed by someone else. So an intelligent person should not allow himself to suffer the same fate. This is another lesson to be learned from honey. See, honeybee, what he will do, he will take every flower, he will take the honey, and now he will accumulate money. But honey thief will come and takes away all the honey. Similarly, we should not hoarding it. Hoarding is a very bad thing. So hoarding in our future, somebody will come and take away. That is very bad. All our 99% of the people working army, they do not enjoy. Their maid is enjoying, their dog is enjoying. They do not stay there in the office. They do not take anything. They earn money, but they are taking only, Prabhupada said they're taking 2 bread only, 2 pieces of bread. They will have diabetes, blood pressure. They cannot take nice food. But their maid, their servant, their dog, they will take much more sumptuous food. The hoarding business is not good. One time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya house for prasadam, accepting invitation, prasadam. And his servant Govinda Das was there. Usually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will take harad after he take the meal, little harad. This Govinda Das, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to bring some harad, he immediately gave harad. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, where did you get this harad? No, I have collected, I have kept it, in stock because you need. Immediately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Govinda Das. You should not hoard. A brahmana should not hoard. A devotee should not hoard money. It is not good. In future, oh, I will have a future and I will get some money. I should have a bank balance. All this hoarding business is not good. Because how much you hoard, you will not enjoy it. Somebody will enjoy it. Just like a honeybee. He collect honey nicely, then honey thief will come and takes away all the honey. So we should learn from the honeybee. This is the lesson. Now the elephant. See, every time we have seen in our practical life many times elephant, but because we have not read Uddhava-gita, we do not know what to learn from the elephant. What the lesson to be learned from the elephant. That's why knowledge is very important. We have seen many times in the zoo elephant, in our TVC, Geographic channel, National Geographic channel, many elephant, but we have never learned any lesson. Today we will learn lesson. The lesson to be learned from an elephant, the male elephant follows female elephant with a desire to enjoy her, thus falls into ditch made by the hunter and is trapped. In the same way, one who is attracted to the form of a woman is destroyed by falling upon into well of material like this time. This is a very, very important thing. See, everybody can be tamed in material world. A elephant, how elephant is tamed? Why they bring to the circus or bring to the some how they capture the elephant? Because elephant has got a weakness. Everybody got some weakness. Everybody got some weakness. So he elephant he has a weakness for female elephant. When he there, when the female elephant was there, so the male elephant will come, and the hunter already planned to trap him. So in this way, he was trapped. Similarly, our problem is that there's a beautiful verses I can show you that how we are also we have got weakness. What is the weakness? This is stated in this beautiful verse. In these verses, it is stated that how we are trapped by the like elephant we are trapped. These verses in 9th canto, it is stated that a supplying butter to a fire does not diminish the fire, but instead of increase more and more. The endeavor to stop lofty desire by continual enjoyment can never be successful. In fact, one must voluntarily see. Just like a fire and butter. So the when fire comes in contact with butter, it melts. Similarly, when a male comes in contact with butter, it will be fall down. For those who are too attracted to material enjoyment and gratification, is very difficult to give up. Even one who is invalid because of old age, one cannot give up such a desire for sense gratification. Therefore, one who actually desire happiness must give up such unsatisfied desire. So therefore, one should not be so attracted to this kind of thing. It is stated here that one should not allow oneself to sit on the same seat even with one's own mother, sister, and daughter. For the senses are so strong that even though one is very advanced in knowledge, he may be attracted by sex. How dangerous it is! How dangerous! Just imagine. Recently, there was a 16-year boy. He raped a toddler. Toddler means what? 1 year, 3 months, 6 months toddler. How dangerous it is. Therefore, why Shastra is telling we have to learn from a elephant? We should not be attracted. This verse is there. It is say that the fire and butter combination is very dreadful. So in this beautiful verses, it is said that woman is compared to a fire, man is compared to a butter pot. Therefore, a man should avoid associating even with his own daughter in seculated place. Similarly, he should avoid association with other women. One should associate with women only for important business, not otherwise. That means for marriage and procreating to make a consistent child. Otherwise, it's very dangerous. It's like a butter and fire. However, you are strong, they say that he's just my friend. He's not my, my fiancé, my lover, and all. As soon as nowadays modern society is so condemned, so much gone down to the value has been so it has been so devalued that there is a what is that called? Um, love in relationship. All this thing is very I mean abominable. As soon as a fire and butter come in contact, it is melt. You cannot say that he is my friend or he is my roommate. No. As soon as there is a male and female come in contact, there has to be a problem. Therefore, Shastra advise even not to sit with daughter, his sister, and his mother even. What to speak about others? Try to understand this. This Shastra cannot be wrong. And there are many instances we have seen in the newspaper how bestiality nature, bestiality behavior we found. So therefore, one should be very careful and learn from the uh, Shastra that one should not be associated with the main unnecessary if there is no business. That means if there is no business, one should not just like that associate with women. One who has failed to control his sense immediately feel attraction upon seeing a woman's form, which is created by the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Indeed, when a woman speaks with enticing words, smiles, suspiciously, moves her body sensuously, his mind is immediately captured. Thus he falls blindly into darkness of material existence. Just as a moth maddened by the fire rushes blindly into the flame. That is also example of moth. Example of elephant also can be given. So this is a dangerous things we should learn from the elephant. Then next we can learn from the honey thief. Honey thief is lesson to be learned. Just as a man takes all honey that was collected from hard labor by the honeybee, one in renounced order of life, the privilege of enjoying before anyone else other valuable things purchased by the hard-earned money of labor. See, this is a very important lesson. Important lesson that just like honeybee collects everything but taken by honey thief. Similarly, the householder life we collect everything, but it is enjoyed by the sannyas. Focus ajagarabhriti. Ajagarabhriti means all the materialistic people, capitalists, they do big building, big park, but they do not enjoy, but enjoy by others. Therefore, saintly person should not accumulate the money. And if they accumulate money, they accumulate for the service of the Lord. One should learn that. Once, first of all, one should not accumulate money. If they accumulate money also in the service of Krishna. For us, Rupa Goswami has given teaches us how to work in this purpose. You should not collect money. That does not mean that devotees should not collect so much money. We collect money not for our sense gratification, for Krishna service. Nibandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. So Rupa Goswami has taught us that for us we can collect money, but not for our personal use. Nasaktasa Vishaya Jaktaharam Upajanjata Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. So here it is said that one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accept everything in relation to Krishna. One is rightly situated above positive. The positiveness is wrong. The honeybee is positiveness. He's thinking that this is my money, this is my honey. The honey comes and takes away. Similarly, a devotee should not be positive. He collect whatever the things he can collect, everything he can collect, but not for his personal use, but in the service. Therefore, Prabhupada says that I accept everything. You give me Rolls Royce. Somebody asked that Prabhupada, the sannyasi should not use the Rolls Royce. Prabhupada say I can use golden plane in the service of the Lord. I don't mind. I don't mind going to the even staying under the tree in the service of Krishna. In the service of Krishna, everything can be dovetailed. Just like Goswamis. Goswamis, they were residing under a tree. Some days under the tree, and the next day under another tree. They are not attached to any tree. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says that the Rupa Goswami teaching everything we can accept. We can accept Rolls Royce, we can accept big building, but in the service of Krishna, not for our personal. That is the criteria, that is the way we should ask Krishna consciousness. We should perform Krishna consciousness. We should learn from the honey thief. This is the lesson. And lesson from deer. Lesson from deer is very important. Lesson to be learned from the deer, just as a deer loses his life after being attracted by the music. Life of a person who is attracted to worldly song is wasted. That is very important. So hearing everybody trying to hear this Bollywood song, this is all waste of time. Time is wasted. Just like a deer is killed by attraction to the sound of a hunter. Similarly, attachment to the mundane song music is anartha. Anartha. Therefore, one should never hear this kind of sound. Shastra is very prohibited not to hear all kind of mundane things. It is stated in these beautiful verses. In this verse, it is stated in Bhagavatam that one should never hear anything other than Krishna consciousness. In this verse, it is stated that Oh my Lord, person who are bereft of all auspicious performance of chanting and hearing about your transcendental activity are certainly unfortunate, are bereft of good sense. They engage in inauspicious activities, they enjoy sense gratification for every good. So this is a very important point. Here Krishna say that hearing about Krishna Katha is the only thing. Hearing any other thing is just inviting death, wasting our time. Therefore, Shastra is saying that, very nice word, this verse. आयुर हरति बाई पुंसाम उद्यम अष्टम चान्यस ताश्चर्य कृष्ण ने तो उत्तम श्लोक बताया. Both by rising and setting sun, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone. Instead, one utilizes the time by discussing the topics of all good Krishna. Only person who was hearing and glorifying Krishna Katha, he is not dragged by the death, but he is dragged by the Krishna. The person who is hearing Bollywood, Hollywood, all nonsense song, they are dragged by death. Every sunrise they are dragging, every moment they are dragged. That is the verdict of Scripture. There's so many verses in this regard. We don't have time, otherwise we can go through. So many verses in this. How important of hearing Krishna Katha alone. Therefore, devotees, they do not like to talk and hear anything other than Krishna Katha. They do not like. There's a beautiful verses in 10th canto. It is stated that Paramahansa devotees who have accepted the essence of life are attracted to Krishna in core of their heart. He is the aim of their lives. It is their nature to talk only Krishna at every moment, as if such topics were newer and newer. They are attached to such topics, just as a materialistic attached to topics of women and such. The difference between a devotee and the materialistic. Materialistic, they will be attached to hearing about the woman, hearing about sex. What about the Bollywood? Bollywood is about women and sex. Hollywood about women and sex. Actually, Hollywood about sex and sex, not women. Everything. But devotees always want to hear about Krishna, hear about, talk about Krishna. That is the quality, the symptoms of, just like symptoms that we are disease, means there is a fever, there is a cold, there is some kind of symptom. Similarly, symptoms of devotee, how can you know that a devotee is really advanced? Prabhupada said that my Guru Maharaj initiated me. He found me that I am always hearing him, whether I understand or not. That propensity, or the interest to hearing is the first qualification for advancement of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna says, my devotee means Satatam Kirtanam Tamam Jajanta Chadudavata Namasyantu Samam Nityam Mam Bhakta Nitya Vidyapa. Satatam, always hearing and chanting. That is the symptoms of devotee. Just like putting tilak and kantimala, having bordered dhoti, colorful kurta, will not qualify us to Krishna consciousness. We must show the symptoms, that desire to hear. Nowadays, devotee has lost the desire to hear. Without hearing, reading is not even important to Upasana. Hearing and explaining is more important than reading. Prabhupada given an example. If you go and buy a Bhagavad-gita or buy a doctor book, we just read, you cannot become doctor. Why? There is a classroom. You need to hear. The teacher will explain you. Those who are good at Shastra, they will expert it. Author is not important. Prabhupada says that I may be author, but I may not be present every time. But there is explanation from my books, from my path. One time this Madhuri Thakur asked Prabhupada, we are reading physics book, mathematics book, but author is not there. Somebody is teaching. Prabhupada says, yes, somebody has to explain you. Author is immaterial, whether it's present or not. But somebody in the line of the author who has nicely heard from the author, he can explain you. Therefore, hearing is very important. Therefore, we should learn from the deer. If you hear anything Bollywood music, Hollywood music, all non-Krishna music, we are going to die spiritual. Spiritual death. Therefore, we always hear Krishna Katha. Hearing is the expressway to Godhead. It's the expressway to liberation. Ear is gateway to liberation. Therefore, we should hear only Krishna Katha every time. Then we will go to the another lesson, another two lesson from different feast. A feast is killed by the desire to taste. Lesson to be learned from the feast, just as a feast meets with death when it tries to enjoy the baited fish. Intelligent people spoil the valuable human life, being slaves to the demands of insatiable tongue. See, the tongue is very, very important. Everything senses can be controlled, but tongue cannot be controlled. Tongue cannot control. Therefore, we should control the tongue. Sarira avidya jal jadendriya taikal. Tongue is the most uncontrollable sense. Therefore, Shastra says that we should control the tongue. Otherwise, it will be a problem. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this very nice verse. How to control the tongue also it is there. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Ibhara lalasa yai iti uti dhaye shishnodhara parayana krishna nahi paya. One who is subservient to the tongue, who thus goes here and there, devoted to genitals and belly, cannot attain Krishna. It's a very important point. We should not be subservient to the tongue. Because subservient to tongue means we will lie nicely eat. As a result, our sex urge will be increased. Because our tongue, our belly, our genitals, all are in a straight line. More you eat, more you will have pressure on the stomach, belly, and it will goes down to our genitals. In this way, will increase our urge for sex life. For our fasting, nectar of instruction, Malaka Vega, Jiva Vega, to control the tongue. How to control the tongue? Control the tongue in a two-way. Two-way of controlling the tongue. What is the two-way of controlling the tongue? Two-way of controlling the tongue is that we have to be. This is the beautiful verses. How to control the two-way of controlling the tongue. अतः श्री कृष्ण नाम आदि ना भवेत गृह मंदिर सेवन मुक्त जीवादाव स्वयं स्प्रतीयता. Material senses cannot appreciate Krishna holy name form called Vipassana. Conditions will awaken to Krishna consciousness render service by using his tongue to chant the holy name and change the remnant of the food. The tongue is purified. One gradually comes to the understanding of Krishna really is. So how to control the tongue? Because if you do not control the tongue, you will fall down. Control the tongue means you take always Krishna prasad. Say prasad anna dilo bhai se anna amruta prava radha Krishna gunaga preme dhaka and chant the holy name of the Lord. Take prasadam, chant holy name. That's all. Akancha bhojana kari mukhe bolo hari hari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So final lesson. We are now at the climax of this spiritual master, another spiritual master, the Avadhuta Brahmana Lord. That is from the Piṅgalā. Piṅgalā is a prostitute. Very nice lesson. There was once a prostitute named Piṅgalā who lived in the city of Videha. Videha means Mithila. Sita. From her, the Avadhuta Lord relation. One day, Piṅgalā dressed herself nicely, waited permanently impatiently from evening to midnight for the arrival of her paramour. When he did not come, Piṅgalā became so disappointed that she developed detachment, being inspired by her conscience. She abandoned her sinful desire, born of the thirst for meeting her paramour. Then meditated on Sri Hari, attained great peace in her mind. The instruction received from her that desire for material enjoyment is the cause of our distress. Therefore, only one who has given up such desire can fix himself in meditation of the Supreme Lord. Thus achieve the transcendental peace. So that is a very, very important point. That how the desire, if a desire for sense gratifications is the main cause of our bondage. So many verses in this regard, as I have already noted down. I will send you the material to everyone. That Krishna also say that the desire is impediment for our spiritual growth. In this beautiful 2-3 verses, I will show you. Then we can end up the classes. So here Krishna says that bhogosthira prasaktanam taya pratachetasam vyavasaitika buddhi samadho navidyate. In the mind, those who are too attached to sense enjoyment, material opulence were bewildered by something, resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord. They're so much attached to the material gratification, just like a prostitute was so much attached and waiting, waiting, waiting. Then you distress, frustrated, and abandon all the things. Similarly, we should abandon the sense gratification process. Otherwise, it is a very big problem. It will make us bondage in this material world, life after life after life. There is a beautiful verse in Bhagavatam also. It is stated that how the soul is lost. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position and recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on false foundation. When this occurs, knowledge is considered that soul is lost. Because so much we are attached, we forget everything, then soul is lost. We do not know what to do, what not to do. Soul is lost. So we cannot take up any process if we are so much attached to sense gratification, which is the cause of our bondage. A man obeys with thought of what he thinks need to be done. There's a beautiful verses. I will end with this verses. There are so many verses, but we cannot go through all the things. So there's a beautiful verses. It is say that Prabhupada quoted this verse many times. This is association for sense gratification is certainly the path of bondage. But the same type of association performed with a saintly person lead to the path of liberation. Even if performed with them. So they're very important. This sense gratification we associate just like a prostitute. He was so much attached for sense gratification, meet paramour. It causes so much distress for him. But he abandoned. He abandoned. But here, same thing. If we associate with sense gratification, then bondage will be there. The path of bondage. But if we associate with saintly devotee, we will remember Krishna. The attachment, we have to just change the attachment from sense gratification to Krishna consciousness, from material consciousness, material attachment to the spiritual attachment. Therefore, the last verses is very nicely spoken by the Piṅgalā. We should learn from the Piṅgalā the very nice verses. Last verses it was spoken by Piṅgalā that how this sense gratification is cause of all the things. The prostitute is teaching us. See, last verse is a very lesson from Piṅgalā. This is the verse. Very nice. Asai paramam dukkham, nairasyam paramam sukham, yatha sanchidya kantan sang sukham suswapa Piṅgalā. Real desire is undoubtedly cause of this greatest happiness. Freedom from such desire is the cause of great happiness. Therefore, completely cutting off a desire to enjoy so-called love or Piṅgalā very happily. Beautiful lesson. All our causes due to material desire. We want to do something. We want to enjoy. We have turned away from the Lord. Also, that material desire of enjoying separately from Krishna. That causes us bondage since time immemorial. This is the lesson from the prostitute Piṅgalā we should learn. The material desire. He was desiring to meet his paramour, and he was frustrated and give up, and he was very peaceful. Parama Sukusi. When your desire is stopped, there was another example is given in later chapter. One hawk when he took this meat and he was going, he saw that so many hawks is following him to snatch him. And he was in very distressed condition. When he threw that or dropped that meat, he was very happy. As long as we have got this material desire, we are always frustrated, we are always distraught. Mogo asa, mogo karma, mogo jnana vichetisa. Krishna says all your things will be defeated. All your desire will be defeated. It will give you frustration. It will give you anxiety. Therefore, we should learn the things that the material desire is a cause of our greatest unhappiness. So, on this notes, I will stop this with the Piṅgalā one. Thank you very much. Very, very important knowledge we should learn and imbibe this and employ in our life and explain to others. That is the way we should lead life. That is Krishna consciousness life. Thank you very much. On this note, I Swan Ganta Sandhavatam ki jai. Uddhava-gita ki jai. Nitai Gaur Haribol. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Mandir ki jai.